Count Taizar hadn't told Rugger why he wanted the map, and Rugger didn't care. The Bigs could get tangled up with the fate of the world. That wasn't for Rugger to decide. He and his sidekick, Blumped, had very reasonable ambitions. Carry out specific tasks and get paid good silver. A simple life. They liked it that way. If in turn others thought them simple, then so be it. Not that anyone would say that to their faces. Not and ever chew solid food again. Rugger and Blumped were bruisers and leg breakers, and they were good at it. Rugger was tall and wide, and Blumped made Rugger look small. They left the Count's Valley along the old highway to the north. The forest thinned after a day's ride, turning into rolling pasture land, spotted with copses of evergreens and farmhouses dotting the landscape. Another day's ride brought them to the Crossroads Inn, where they were told to meet the thief. Not that the man was specifically a thief by trade. Rugger and Blumped had been led to believe the man was some professional cad, a wandering opportunist. But on this occasion he'd been asked to steal, so it was simpler to think of him as the thief. They asked the innkeeper if he'd seen any other strangers, but he hadn't. They slipped him a coin, gave him a name and a description before claiming a table and ordering a meal. By the time they'd finished their third plates, more patrons had drifted into the common room, an open space with mismatched tables and chairs, and a huge fireplace against the far wall. None of the newcomers looked like the man they were waiting for. By nightfall, the place was full, a mix of locals, farmers and craftsmen, and a few weary-looking travellers. 2 people had shown up to help the old innkeeper, a tubby man with glowing red cheeks who resembled the innkeeper and might have been a younger brother, and a red-haired girl of about 20, maybe a daughter or granddaughter. Rugger thought her pretty, but he couldn't talk to women. He'd see the fear in their eyes and get discouraged. Rugger knew what he looked like, understood that a woman's first reaction, or a man's for that matter, was to feel intimidated. It wasn't always Rugger's intention, but it didn't matter. Just walking into a room would do it. "She's easy on the eye, this one," Rugger said, nodding in the girl's direction. Blumped grunted and swallowed another gulp of beer. Rugger was on the road most of the time anyway. What would he do with a wife? Rain pummeled the tin roof of the inn as they waited. "Another round, or call it?" Rugger asked. "What do you think that map's for?" Blumped asked. Rugger blinked. "What?" "Me mum says there's been talk. Strange things coming back round again. Old stories being whispered anew. Lots of them foreigners from west of the arrowheads up at the castle. Coming and going. Strange times." Rugger blinked again, looked at Blumped for a long moment. "What?" "Strange times," Blumped repeated. "Mum says." Blumpt's da had died a few years back, and his mum still lived in the same farmhouse outside Sparrow's Nest. Unlike his partner, Rugger never knew his parents.